What's up, guys? Today I'm going to be doing an in-depth tutorial on the Meguiar's heavy-duty headlight restoration kit. It's going to be each step along the way, so let's get it started. Alright, opening up the headlight restoration kit, we have a few selection of things that they give you. They have a few different sandpapers, wet sandpapers, a 3000 grit, a 1000 grit, and a device to stick the applicator sandpaper pads to. There's also a polish for the headlights and a plush polishing pad that attaches to a drill on the back. There's also a headlight coating and an applicator pad for that. Things that the kit does not have that you will need to grab is a small handheld drill. Doesn't really matter what kind or what brand. It's just something with a little bit of spin. We don't need to go crazy here. Also, a microfiber towel would be nice to have in hand. Now, I've removed the headlight from the vehicle to make it easier to access the upper areas here. That doesn't necessarily mean you need to remove it from your vehicle. It's just something I did to work on it a little easier and for demonstration purposes. But it does make it easier to get into all those hard spaces, that's for sure. It takes a little extra time, but probably a better idea. First, we need to take off the dirt that's been on here for a while. You can see on my fingers already. Just grab the terry cloth. Just gonna spray it with some household cleaner. Just a little Clorox. Just give it a wipe down. Get all that dirt out of here. So we're not sanding the dirt into the surface. See, it's already pulling a lot of that dirt up. I'm not too worried about the overspray from the paint here. I think in the sanding process, it's gonna come right up. As you can see, these are pretty bad. I don't know who messed these up, but you see there's pretty bad. I don't know if you can see that on the camera. It's very hazy on top there. I want to get all of it, really. You don't want to be touching the back of this with your hands and then get dirt on your hands, and then you touch the headlight and now you got a dirt mark all across your headlight. So make sure you get the areas in the back too. Alright, the next step is going to be to sand this thing down with the wet sandpaper that they provided. You're going to start with 1000 grit. It says it right in the back. Right in the back there you can see the grit size. This one's 3000 and this is 1000. Keep in mind, you want to keep these nice and wet. You don't want to do anything dry, ever. So, got a little container of water here. And all you're going to do is dunk it in the water. Maybe spread that water out here. Because when it's dry, it's going to soak up a lot of that initial water. So, dip your hand in there, keep it nice and wet. And we're going to use smooth side-to-side motions across the whole headlight. Overlapping paths. You don't have to go fast. Anytime you feel it get a little dry, just give it a little dunk. A little extra water never hurt. And keep on moving. If there's a problem spot, make sure you don't just use small strokes. You want to continue to use those long strokes to get in there. You want it to be uniform all the way through. And keep that applicator wet. You've got a little bit done. Take your microfiber cloth and just give it a wipe. See where you're at. Now you want to continue this process until the whole headlight is one frosty haze. You want it to be consistently hazy across the whole headlight. Okay, so once we're done sanding with the 1000 grip, we have a uniformly frosted lens. It looks consistently the same color throughout. When you run your hand across it, it's nice and smooth. You're not catching pits everywhere. It feels really like glass underneath your fingers. We're gonna make it a little smoother. We're gonna remove the 1000 grit. Set that aside. And we're gonna apply the 3000 grit. Now, as the numbers go higher with sandpapers, they become smoother. The lower the number, the rougher the sandpaper. Now, just like with the 1000 grit, we're gonna keep this nice and wet. Apply a little bit of water to the surface. It's your hand, no big deal. Dunk our pad in. Now, this time instead of going across, we're gonna go up and down. We're going the opposite direction we went before. And with a long headlight like this, it might take a little bit of time, but overlap your passes. Nice and smooth. Now, it might not look like you're taking anything off, but if you look back at your water, you'll see it's actually murky in color. That's all the contaminants that you've been taking off. So if you see it getting a little dark, just switch it off with some fresh water. You never want to be using the same dirty product over and over again. So next, we're going to be polishing the headlight itself with the provided buffing pad and the Plastic X cleaner that they provide. Right off the bat, I noticed that just messing around with the pad that there's these fibers coming off of it. So just kind of give it a little brush and kind of pull these out. You don't want these getting on your work and messing everything up. So take the time to remove all the loose hairs. Doesn't seem like the best quality, but we'll see if it works for our application. Now, this is an old Black & Decker drill, nothing crazy about it. They recommended a corded drill between 1200 and 2500 RPMs. See if this one works. If not, we can always upgrade and see what happens. All we're going to do is take our product and we're going to do 5 dots if it was open. All right, let's try this again. We're going to do 5 dots on our pad. In the middle, outsides. So they're kind of large. You only want like dime size, a little much there. We're gonna take our pad and we're gonna kind of wipe it around. Got a little bit of product on there. Rubbing in the edges. Now, same thing like before, we want to be nice and smooth with this process. We're not going to be running around and doing different spots. Nice and smooth, long strokes. Now make sure we don't let it dry on there, so right after we're done, we take microfiber and we wipe it all off. Yeah, like I thought, you can see the fibers stuck inside the towel there. Don't let this stuff dry. Alright. It's definitely nice and smooth. I'm gonna try this a couple more times, see if we can get a little bit better product out of it. This headlight's starting to look really good here. The final buffing process uses a microfiber towel. This is a different microfiber towel. Same color, different towel. Don't use a dirty one. We're going to take a little bit of the product of our Class X. And we're going to, by hand, final buff it. Dab a couple spots. And just work it in there by hand. Circular motions. Put it over. Give it a wipe. Want to make sure all this product is off. Do not want to leave any behind. And if you gotta flip it over again, inside out, make sure you have a clean surface. Make sure we get all of this polish and compound off. It is smooth as glass now. I can feel it underneath my hand. That looks really good. All right, last step here. We're going to be applying the headlight coating that they provide. It has an applicator pad that comes with it. It says to shake it well, so make sure you give it a couple, give a minute of shaking. I don't know what's in it, but they said to shake it good. I'm noticing that reading the bottle here and reading the directions on the box itself are two contradicting statements. The bottle itself says to apply the product the long way, left to right, with overlapping strokes. The box says to apply it top to bottom with overlapping strokes. We're gonna go with the box's instructions, just because the box came in the set, and maybe there was a step that it works better with previously versus just using this product by itself. Because it does say that you can apply this product to tail lights, side markers, lens lamps to protect them from oxidation. So let's keep this stuff handy. Might come in handy in the future. So let's pop this open. It's got a little, it says to wet the applicator pad. Make sure there's nothing on it. How much of this to use? I don't know. We're gonna find out. Put a liberal amount, I guess. Gonna put a good amount on there. And we're just gonna stroke it top to bottom with overlapping strokes. It has a very alcohol-esque smell. It has pretty good coverage, so whatever I just applied works really well, I guess. Go back over it one more time. It says the product takes 15 minutes to dry and 24 hours to completely cure. So we're gonna let this sit for 15 minutes. Okay, so it's been 20 minutes now. This is the headlight that we did. This is one has yet to be done. I'm pretty happy with the results. I turned the lights on so you guys can see the reflection and really see the haze that was in the old one. All that dirty, nasty. And then the new one. I turned the light on right above us so we can get that reflection. So you can see really what's in there. I do notice there's still sediment on the bottom on the inside of the lens, but that'll be another video for another day if I can figure out how to do that. But I'm pretty happy with the results. It completely removed the upper section that was all hazy, like it's still on here. This is all gone. That took a little bit of work, but it's I don't have to worry about that anymore. They look great. Let's get another angle. The haze on this. Before and after. It's completely gone. Like I said, there's that little bit of overspray that had gone on the side is now gone on the headlight itself. Looks great. Yet again, guys, this was the Meguiar's heavy duty headlight restoration kit. I'll put the link in the description below of the exact kit that I used. If I was going to do it again, things I'd like to improve would probably a better drill. I found after a little bit of buffing that would die out a little bit, but it's a poopy drill anyway. It's not very good. A corded one would give you a little more power, but you have to be careful going a little faster. You're going to burn it. Don't want to go too fast, you know. I did like the fact that it was slow and it allowed me to work at my own pace, which was nice. Relatively easy to use. Anybody can do this, and I would highly recommend removing them from the car. It's been so much easier to work in all those spots. I don't have to worry about touching the paint or masking everything off and getting the car dirty and that whole process. Says it lasts up to a year, but we'll see about that. Check in maybe in a year and see how they're doing.